Welcome to the Riffin with Jeza podcast. I've been chatting with a friend lately. It's interesting, the world is undergoing such changes, it seems. You know, something I really observed when COVID's first happened was how attached people are to their beliefs. I'm almost at the point now where I just I can't be bothered talking about anything to anyone, almost. Like, I mean, that's not quite true, but the amount of people where I feel like we can pull apart our ideas and actually look at them, it's just so rare. People really identify with their beliefs, you know, and getting your beliefs wrong is seen as bad. It's interesting. I see it as freedom. So I like discovery of new stuff. I see that as magic, you know? Thinking one way and then realising it was all bullshit. That's liberation. But anyway, it's just interesting because I sort of, I'm going through this. It's interesting, like, so there's just, I don't want to sort of get too political because then it just gets into people's beliefs anyway. So, but I've just seen this over and over, like people have ascribed a belief system to the world, you know, about, let's say, what's happening politically, and and you can't really, and you present some evidence and you can't really shift them. Like, I mean, there'll be something staring there right there, and it's just like, that's it. They don't see, like, they're convinced of their thing. And something I've noticed as well is that people often develop beliefs around their emotional standpoint. You know? People often develop beliefs around their emotional standpoint. So often people develop a belief around hope. And so if they feel like, okay, this will give me the emotion of hope, you know, so they cultivate that particular belief. But the way I kind of think is that cultivating a belief like that is just, it's like a belief on thin ice. You know, like, what's the point of cultivating something that's got no substance? And conversely, the way I think is that, why not just get to the truth as quickly as you can? And if you don't know the truth, that's okay as well. In fact, sometimes that's good, because that makes you open to finding a solution. Like, that makes, like, from that point of view, your spirit can come in, or a higher realm can come in and show you things. It's really quite amazing. But when we cling to belief systems, we actually block out answers. And we might think that belief system serves us, but all we're doing is we're blocking out answers. And we're really also just segregating ourselves from other people. And we're just lining up in terms of teams, you know? I'm this team, you know? So you see that politically, like, you're that team, I'm this team, you know? And then that team, all their beliefs line up. And this other team, all your beliefs line up. I just find that a really boring way to live. Like, I just think expansion of reality is where it's at. Question every belief you've got, you know. And I mean conversely, some people can have an emotional sort of disposition, to everything is bad and everything is wrong. And again, like, just that's kind of like a protection thing. Like, if I think that everything is wrong, then, you know, is it? You know, like, is this really true? Like, I think when a belief is hurting you, is this really true? How does this make me feel? Is this really true? Do I absolutely know this is really true? You know, so questioning the fixation your mind has on stuff And I'm sort of a big believer in, like, if you know, you don't want to believe everything is a conspiracy either, because that's also a form of like defeatism, you know, like, and also it blocks solutions. I kind of think that there's always an answer, but sometimes you have to sit with discomfort. You have to sit with, wow, this is pretty fucked up, or whatever, you know, this is, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, but sit with the truth. And then if you can't show, then if the situation is as it is, just letting go of the negativity around it. Just accept, like accepting, okay, it is what it is. Like without making it wrong. Don't have to make it right, but releasing the emotion of making it wrong. So anyway, it's just interesting, this thing with belief. Like I just noticed this, you know, as I said, the last couple of years, and as I said, it really strongly came to my attention with COVIDs, where people believe a certain thing and then that's that. But then people who believed an opposite thing, often they were caught in this paradigm too, of this other thing is the truth. You know, and I'm watching this politically, like where people are just so fixed on their thing, and that is the truth. And it's interesting because I think the system, you know, the manipulators of the world want people segregated into teams, because it's like it's a mind construct, and it's a disempowering mind construct that actually keeps people out of their deeper nature, because in reality life isn't like that. Like, it's like socially it might be like that. This team is here, this team is there, these people are here, those people are there, but it's such a limited kind of thing. I remember someone introduced me to somebody else as, this guy's cool, he's awake. And I remember thinking, I don't want to be part of your team. I'm not part of any team. I'm not anything. Because I just think, as soon as you start identifying with that thing, you've now just placed limits on yourself. And then there's this whole social thing that I'm going to, you know, I'm part of this thing. So, as I say, it's always good to round up with a point. And so, this is what I'm thinking with this little insight that came to me today. What I'm thinking is that, can it be okay to not know? Or can it be okay there's grey there? Or to be not sure? Can we leave open the possibility of getting more information? Can we see something and think, okay, that's that, but is there something more? You know? And whenever someone's presenting something to you, noticing the vibration, the feeling behind it, that's something that I do. Like, if they're, you know, if there's high emotion behind it, or insistence, then I see that as time to step back, because at best that's hurting that person, but keeping them blocked from something else. Anyway, it's an old man staring at me. Anyway, I think he wants some money. Yeah, this idea. So I'd exercise, right? So what are the beliefs I have today? Like, what are the beliefs that I strongly talk about all day, or that I think on a regular basis? And how do they make me feel? And if it's a negative feeling, do I know this to be true? Or can I withdraw the emotion around it? Not make it wrong, not make it right, but just, it is as it is. Because I really feel emotion is a misdirect. Emotion will always take you to especially negative emotion, will always take you off track. So that's around the beliefs. And the other thing is, when someone's giving their opinion, do I really need to give my opinion back? You know what I mean? I mean, if they're interested, I can. But maybe my opinion doesn't even matter. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, I just mean that in a way of, these are just thought forms of the personality. These aren't the deeper truth anyway. And too much insistence on anything just creates a man-made prison. So anyway, it's just interesting, this belief thing. Of just really come into contact with it a lot lately, and just seeing just a futile thing. I don't know, I just see it as futile. I see it as noise, and I see it as identification stuff. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. So if you relate to any of this, I'm interested in your story. Like, have you had any beliefs that have shifted? Like big beliefs that you're really entangled with, and then they just shifted? Or have you been in situations where you're giving your beliefs, and you have a friend or something, or a family member, they're giving their beliefs, and all it does is create conflict, and you're insistent on giving your beliefs in a certain way, but is this situation really useful? And is it really the deeper nature of you, and is it really the deeper nature of the other person? And in the end, does it really matter? So anyway, just a few sort of thoughts. I'm just walking around the streets of Costa Rica at the moment, a little town in Costa Rica. So I've just had breakfast. They have a fairly heavy typical breakfast. They call it a typical breakfast: rice, beans and eggs, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, so what beliefs are holding me back? So, so one of the beliefs that I've become aware of is a belief that I sort of sometimes indulge in, and that's that love never works out for me, And so I've had many situations that mirror that. And so, so I think the first thing is, okay, questioning that, is that really true? Questioning it every time the feeling comes up or the emotion comes up. And then even a new belief can just be, it doesn't even have to be like an insistence, it can just be posing the thought, maybe things could work out, So anyway, this is not a coaching podcast or anything, so, and I don't want to get into too much of that. This is just sort of concepts that I think about myself. But anyway, it's just interesting, because I've just really become aware over the last couple of years just that I really think beliefs can be a prison. So anyway, hopefully there's something in there for you. And if you have any thoughts, if you have any experiences around this where a belief kept you in a prison, or beliefs, or two fixed beliefs between two people, you and your partner, or you and your friend or family or whatever, kept you in a limited place, or if a belief kept you from experiencing a positive result, or kept attracting negative things to you. Anyway, if your fixed belief had an effect on you and then you shifted it, I'm interested to know. So let me know, that'd be great. Have a good day. Riffin with Jeza.